I'm Heather from booktubes, and today is things I love on covers, specifically romance covers. There might be a couple that aren't adult romance books, but it's pretty much going to be romance covers, and it's just the ones that fill me with joy that I just love. I don't buy books, so it's not like I have a bookshelf full of my favorite covers or anything like that, and it's not something I've talked a lot about. Obviously, when you do like the mid-year book freakout tag, there's like your favorite cover, and that's like one cover a year. But I had this idea, and I was originally going to do it next month, and I was also going to do book covers I hate, and I don't think I'm going to do that at all because I had a whole different idea, which I think will have me talking about covers more. But this one, I was like looking at covers and like thinking about whether the different types of things that I like, and it made me so happy, like so happy. So I'm really excited about this. It's mostly going to be commentary style, and I will have covers up on the screen to illustrate what I'm talking about. I'm not going to necessarily talk about specific covers. They'll be on the screen. I'm going to talk about style. I'll be using covers and talking about covers whether I've read the book or not, enjoyed the book or not. This is not a recommendation of these books. This is just, I love the aesthetics. So the first one is Clinch That Evokes Danger. I'm a huge fan of dangerous meet cutes or violent meet cutes or like knife to the throat, that type of thing where it's like, bam, you ran into them, or they rescued you, or they tried to kill you, or what have you, but there's like some sort of heightened sense of danger in your initial meeting as characters. And I really love covers that are kind of indicative of that as well, whether that is the two characters like going at each other, or if it indicates maybe protecting them from something else. I just love when there's like that little bit of an edge to it, but also like they're close to each other, they're embraced, they're intertwined, they are in each other's space. I really love that. Another thing is flowers with or without people. I am a huge floral fan. If I buy it, it probably has some sort of floral or botanical pattern on it. I kill plants like nobody's business, and it's like a terrible thing in my life because there's just nothing that I enjoy visually more than florals. The thing about this is I really dislike a lot of the floral discrete covers where it's just like one single flower and text. Like, I don't like that. I really don't. But when you have the florals in a pattern, or you have a really pretty, like, I don't know, when you put more effort into it. I love florals, and I think some of the most gorgeous covers use those. I mean, florals for spring, shocking. Florals for a book cover, shocking. Florals are pretty, who knew? But I don't care because I literally never get tired of it. The next one is color story. If I love the combination of colors or the shades and tones that you use, it really just makes me happy to look at it. I think that the shades that you pick and the combinations that you pick are the most important thing, and they really can change a book from being very generic to, wow, that's stunning. And I am very heavily biased towards blues and greens and grays and blacks and, a pop of pink, a pop of purple. I definitely have my preferences when it comes to colors, but even like things that I wouldn't buy for my home or I wouldn't wear, that doesn't mean it doesn't make a gorgeous book cover that speaks to me in a way that I just visualize it. I can bring it up in my memory because I'm like, oh yes, that was a good cover because of the colors that they used. The next one is one of my all-time favorite book cover trends, and that is the monster clinch. So I really think that we can credit 100% Katie Robert with this cover trend, which, bow down. You have given a gift to the community that can never be like underappreciated, because whether you've read the books or not, which I haven't, but her monster clinches, oh, that first one, The Dragon's Bride, was the first one I ever saw, and it really has become such a trend, and it's so perfect. Not only because illustrated monsters are great, because obviously they don't exist in the real world, like explanation not necessary. But just like that old school historical romance vibe, but with monsters and with these detailed illustrations, it feels so fresh and new and such like a great take on it. And I am just such a huge fan of the contrast. I think that it is like truly just one of my favorite things. And in fact, Katie Roberts' series, I actually ordered the prints of all of the cover art, even though I haven't read it, because I really like that style just speaks to me. I get happy every time, whether I'm interested in reading the book or not. It really does perfectly tell you what to expect in that book. The next one is the crop shot. So you take part of a person and or whatever and you zoom in, so you're only seeing part of the picture, right? This is something that I have seen Black romance authors, indie Black romance authors specifically, really talk about, because especially if you want a specific race or ethnicity for your cover model, there's just not that many to choose from. So if you're writing a Black romance book, you're going to have lots of other Black romance books featuring that same cover model. Or if you're writing an Asian romance book, same thing. Like anything that is not straight and white and cis and all of that, you're going to struggle to find stock images, and you can find them, right? However, they're usually really overused. So in fact, I think it was Christina C. Jones maybe that like specifically talked about this, about how if you do take that picture and, you know, crop it, edit it, change it a little bit, it can really help your cover to not be constantly mistaken as other people's and not just be like, didn't I already read that book? And no, you didn't. So this is something that can happen a lot out of necessity because of a lack of representation. However, it can also just be stunningly gorgeous. Sometimes I think that it can be powerful in a way that the full image is not. Next is the feminist power pose, is what I'm going to call this. So it doesn't always have to be a woman, but it kind of like, you get the feeling that she could kill you and that maybe there's some rage there, or maybe just like they're luring you in, but you often will have a woman by herself, or maybe she's in the forefront of the photo, but like she looks powerful. And I have always been attracted to this. This is, you know, something that has always just caught my eye, and I think that it can be done really, really well for romance books specifically. Next is detailed illustrations. I don't really like the illustrated covers where there are no facial details or anything, but when they are detailed illustrations and you really get the skill of that artist, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. It fills me with just like an appreciation for what I'm seeing, and just having this art also contain the art of the story that I am so interested in really just, I don't know, it makes me happy. I don't know if you can tell that this like entire subject makes me really happy, but just I'm not a great artist by any stretch of the imagination, and just seeing what people can do always just fascinates me, especially when like they can so well convey the story and the scene and the little details and just make it beautiful, and also make you just want to consume that story. I'm a fan. I love when authors pay artists their worth and, you know, really give them that commission to do their covers. It's just my favorite thing in the world. I would love if all of us were able to. I would love if the actual publishers did their job and did what they should. But, you know, there's no one more supportive of their community than an indie author. They will pour money into their work and into paying people what they are due that the huge companies just won't. Next is discreet covers that are meaningful and beautiful. So the perfect example of this is Run Posey Run. This is the one like discreet cover that automatically comes to my mind when I think of this, because chess and their battle with chess and also their battle between each other is such a core integral part of their story that the discrete cover really well represents their story. Now, I am not really necessarily a fan of discrete covers in the sense that I absolutely don't care if you see a shirtless man on my cover. I am cool with that. So I'm not really like into the whole censor what you're reading, don't let people know what you're reading. I don't know. That's not my vibe. That's not what I'm doing over here. But so often, like, they're not pretty, and I really appreciate when someone does go that route and it's really just well done. Next is what I'm gonna call wearing my hands like a necklace. I love this pose. I love this pose. That might tell you a little bit more about me than you needed to know, but it doesn't matter. I am such a fan. I am such a fan. I am such a fan. I love it in scenes. I love all the things. But when you put that on the cover, I'm just like, yes. Yep. Take my money. Next is kinky. I think that, you know, it can be difficult with the current environment to advertise quite how sexy your book might be or how kinky it might be, but I do really love when the author leans into that for their cover. A perfect example of this is A.H. Cunningham. No one does it like she does, I don't think. I really appreciate it. I really do, and I like it. I like having that edge to it, that steaminess to it, like sexy cover, which again, I understand not everyone wanting to have that in their bookstore or whatever. I don't know, I love when the cover matches up with the contents. Next is a good weapon. I have always been a sucker for a weapon cover. This doesn't have to be romance, it can be. Obviously it works really well with fantasy, but I just like them. I always have. I think that they're really cool with snakes or animals. I think they're really cool with florals. I think that even like if you have a person holding the weapon, but the weapon is such like a primary focus of the picture, it just is really, I don't know, I like it. I like it, and I don't know that I need more of a reason than that. But again, it's got like that edge of danger. It indicates what you're getting. It's beautiful. A well-crafted weapon can be really a work of art, just like anything else. And I like it. It's fun. Almost done here. A little gothic, a little witchy. I don't know if you can tell, but I am pretty basic. A basic white girl. I'm pretty like preppy and middle of the road when it comes to fashion choices. Like nothing about me is that far out there. It's just not. But I do love seeing other people's like creative expressions, and one of those things that I really love is gothic and witchy and just like those dark vibes. I personally still like have a comfort zone for it, like a realm in which like it does appeal to me, and I just really love when, again, it fits the storyline and it's just like it's got something to it, gives it that little bit of pizzazz, that little bit of edge, that little like darkness to it, and it's like, this is beautiful, but you can expect morally gray. Not millennial gray, morally gray. I'm very millennial gray, and I'm very attracted to morally gray. Lastly is Gilded. I love it. I love it. It's evocative of the leather tomes and the bindings of like tomes of yore, where it's just, you know, that classic hand-stitched, hand-crafted leather cover. And I love especially when maybe the gilding is a little unexpected or what have you. It just, oh, I love it, especially for fantasy. It pleases my eyeballs. I am always like, you want to reach out and stroke the leather, and I just really love the aesthetic that like evokes that sense. It doesn't have to be leather. It can still be printed cover. It doesn't have to just be gilded with nothing behind it, but it really is just so pretty. And I really enjoy it, and I love the really clever ways that authors are incorporating it in their covers, even though that's not how we bind books anymore. So that's it for today, at least. Those are some just trends and things that I absolutely love on the covers and make me happy, and I'm just so pleased to see them, and I'm just like commenting and ordering prints and like doing things and just like picking up the book because of the cover. And yeah, this just really made me happy, so thanks for watching. I don't really think that this video is going to do that well. I could be wrong, sometimes I'm wrong, but like I don't really anticipate it doing very well, but it did feed something in my soul. So thanks for watching. Definitely let me know what you agree with and what like your go-to favorite things are, or even what you'd like to see more of, and I might have a video coming your way next month of kind of what I would like to see more of. So thanks so much for watching. Bye.